As soon as I saw the title Two Little Indians, I knew that this was going to be an interesting Tom and Jerry cartoon. And interesting it was. Stereotypical, yes. A product of its time, absolutely. But was it terrible? Well, if you take away the stereotyping, no, not so much. But you kind of can't watch it without seeing these two little Nibbles-esque mice dressed as the title says, Indians, Native Americans. And I apologise if I kind of mix the terms back and forth when discussing this. I'll try and be consistent. But these two little mice are dressed as Native Americans with kind of traditional headdress and things. And they present themselves at Jerry's door, Jerry being the scoutmaster. And these are the two orphans that Jerry has to look after. And these are very hyperactive, boisterous individuals who are shooting arrows first at Spike, which Jerry says straight away, no, you don't do that, and then at Tom. And they cause a lot of bother for Tom and a lot of bother for everybody else. And a lot of this action could have taken place without them being called Two Little Indians. They could have easily given them a bow and arrow or a slingshot or something and caused the same amount of trouble. So they definitely could have done this without stereotyping, and the narrative could have developed in the same way. But there are obviously certain visual aspects that the cartoon needs in order to fit the title. It is also done predominantly to the tune of 10 Little Indians, which the music itself is very pleasant. I think it's a very nice tune. But obviously that's one more thing that kind of makes it a bit uncomfortable to watch. Nevertheless, the actual animation quality, how it was edited, was actually pretty incredible. I don't know if this is just something I've never picked up on before, but it seemed like the backgrounds were incredibly more detailed. Usually when we're in the garden, there's a picket fence in the background and the grass in the foreground, and that's all you can see, or maybe some bricks from the house. But in the background, in the distances, there were houses and buildings and roads and everything, and the level of detail in the backgrounds was so much stronger than what I can kind of remember from any other Tom and Jerry cartoon. And I thought that was pretty impressive. So actually the animation is pretty fabulous. The narrative itself flows well, the pacing is good, the two little characters are very cute. But the costumes they're wearing make it a bit awkward. As I said, they could have done this narrative without the costumes and just tweaked a few things here and there. But that was the decision that they made. So it is what it is today. It's not as bad as some that I've seen. Certainly not as bad as some that I've seen. It's worth watching if you're a fan of Tom and Jerry, absolutely. It's interesting to see attitudes at the time and what was, well, I was going to say what was acceptable in the 50s, what was acceptable by some people in the 50s. And again, the animation quality is pretty incredible. So absolutely, for the right reasons, worth watching.